Good morning. How could I help you?
I've been hearing some noises in both of my front tires, so I thought I better stop in and have it checked out.
Very good. Thanks for coming in this morning. Could be your brakes. I'd like to take a look at it for you. The first thing I'd like to do with your permission is test drive your car. You're welcome to come with me, or you can take a seat in our showroom.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Well, you're certainly right about noises coming from the front of the vehicle. What I'd really like to do is do a thorough brake inspection.
How much do you charge for a brake job? I've seen a lot of advertised prices lately.
To price the brakes, what we really need to do is get the vehicle in, pull all 4 tires to do a thorough brake inspection.
How do those other garages know what to charge if they don't know what the problem is?
Well, they don't really. See, the prices that they advertise is just a way to get you into the shop. You really get what you pay for. Here, we perform a complete brake inspection and a thorough repair. Do you have a couple of minutes? I'd really like to show you how a brake system works.
Sure.
Good. Essentially, what happens when you press down on the brake pedal, brake fluid is sent from the master cylinder, which is the little white box under the hood of the vehicle, down through lines to the brake calipers. With hydraulics, this brake fluid pressure causes the caliper, which has 2 brake pads, to squeeze against the spinning rotor in each wheel. This action causes friction and slows the vehicle to a stop. Some vehicles have got drum brakes, and when the brake pedal is pushed, brake fluid is sent to a piston that pushes the brake shoes against the drum.
What exactly does a complete brake inspection involve?
Well, a complete brake inspection means that we'll pull all 4 tires and evaluate the condition of the brakes at each individual wheel. We'll then inspect the parking brake system, and we'll write our estimate based on MAP guidelines.
What are the MAP guidelines?
MAP stands for Motorist Assurance Program. Before any service is performed, an inspection must be completed. The results must be documented and explained to the customer. The condition of the vehicle will indicate what services or part replacements may be required or suggested. The other guys may only check the front brakes, since they typically wear at a faster rate than the rear brakes. We always check and service the rear brakes. In your case, your vehicle is equipped with drum brakes in the rear. Some vehicles have 4-wheel disc brakes. We will quote what is needed and repair exactly what you approve.
So all 4 wheels get service. Well, that's good. What's next?
Well, first we'll replace the old dirty brake fluid in the vehicle's master cylinder. Many other shops will skip this step and not replace the contaminated fluid at all. We'll then hoist your vehicle up and spin the tires, checking for possible caliper restriction or damage, and perhaps even excessive wheel bearing play. We'll then measure thickness variation of the rotors with a micrometer. And we'll inspect the rotor's cooling fins and vanes for signs of mud or rust. Not every garage does this either.
Why is that important?
Well, thickness variation can cause the brake pedal to pulsate or the steering wheel to shake as you stop. And clogged vanes could affect the rotor's ability to properly remove heat from the brakes, which will lead to premature wear and affect the vehicle's stopping ability. The brake hoses are also checked for wear, abrasions, or cracks. The next step is to remove the calipers, but first the rest of the dirty brake fluid must be drained from the system.
Why are you doing that when you just replaced the brake fluid?
That's a great question. When we drain the fluid out of the master cylinder, it didn't remove the fluid from the brake caliper. And since the caliper is at the lowest point of the brake system, any contamination may have settled there. In removing the caliper from the bracket, we clamp the brake fluid hose off with a special tool that won't damage the brake hose. By clamping the hose, we're not allowing any of the remaining dirty fluid inside the caliper to flow back into the vehicle's anti-lock braking system unit. If that were to happen, the ABS unit could become damaged, a repair cost upwards of $1,500. Now, after the clamp is removed, the fluid is replaced in the caliper with clean fluid from the master cylinder.
So is clamping off the brake hose a step that's common knowledge among most mechanics?
No, not really. Many will simply force the caliper piston back in and push dirty brake fluid back up into the ABS unit. That's the difference between us and them. Well, next we'll inspect and remove the calipers and brake pads. The caliper is designed to float gently back and forth on the braking system. If the caliper and pads were not lubricated the last time your brakes were serviced, you may hear brake noise.
I'm surprised that not everyone takes the extra time to lubricate these parts.
Well, yes, and in addition to proper lubrication, it's really critical that dirt and rust buildup be cleaned from inside the rotor and hub, and we always replace hardware in any part that's worn. Others don't often take the time to include these steps. In most cases, we resurface your rotors and drums. However, sometimes rotors will need to be replaced because of corrosion or heat cracks, or if the measured thickness is less than the original equipment manufacturer specifications. Now, whether the rotor is new or resurfaced, we check for lateral runout. That's when the rotor, while spinning, is not perpendicular to the axle. It causes the rotor to wobble, resulting in extra wear. Next, the caliper and pads are installed. And the pads we use, of course, are the Napa Premium disc brake pads, and these pads are designed specifically for your vehicle.
Aren't all brake pads the same?
Well, not at all. Napa Premium brake pads have more industry-recognized quality and safety certifications than any other brake pads.
Well, I certainly want to keep my family safe.
Absolutely. Next, we lubricate the brake parts to be installed. It's important that all the parts with metal-to-metal contact surfaces be lubricated. A lot of other guys won't take the time. Next, the wheel is put on, and we torque all wheels to specification. And finally, the brake pads are readjusted by carefully pumping the brake pedal. A lot of technicians pump the brake pedal way too fast, and they push it to the floor.
Oh, what kind of problem does this cause?
Well, pushing the brake pedal too fast and to the floor can actually aerate the system, causing a mushy or soft pedal, or worse, can damage pistons and seals within the master cylinder. The last two steps we do are to top off the brake fluid in the master cylinder and test drive the vehicle. Well, that about does it. With genuine Napa parts, we restored your vehicle's braking to like-new performance.
One last question. Are new brakes supposed to make a little noise after being replaced?
Well, no, not with our service and quality Napa parts. Napa Premium pads and rotors are engineered to match specifically to your vehicle's original equipment specifications. They even have a guaranteed quiet warranty for the life of the pads.
I didn't realize there was such a difference. Thanks.
Thanks for the opportunity.
Now you know what goes into a quality brake job. We take the time to listen to you, diagnose the problem, and properly repair your car's brakes without cutting corners. Our level of service, in addition to Napa Premium brakes, the only brakes guaranteed quiet, is the right choice.
I guess you really do get what you pay for.